Day after day, it is under attack from Metro liberals. They want to defund the police. They want to put in place California emission standards that would force us out of our SUVs and our F-150s. They want to limit our right to own a firearm and protect our families. You can count on me to fight back against these extreme ideas. And I'll continue to get things done for northern Minnesota.
Just this session, Justin Eichorn authored a bill aimed at protecting children. Also, this one a few years ago to increase penalties for sexually explicit materials involving kids. Now he's charged with soliciting a minor.
In this committee together, I think there's a lot of work we can certainly get done.
Justin Eichorn recently served as co-chair for the Senate's Environment, Climate, and Legacy Committee.
Thank you very much, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
And just a few weeks ago was elected chair of the state's Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation Board, pushing for investment in small communities across northeastern Minnesota known for their natural resources.
Bloomington to Hennepin County Jail, arrested yesterday for allegedly soliciting a minor for prostitution.
2915, I'd like to thank my co-sponsors.
The Republican representing north central Minnesota for 8 years is also the ranking minority member for the Chamber's Environment, Climate, and Legacy Committee. His chair notably now absent at the Capitol.
We are not in quorum yet.
The party calling on Eichorn to resign, saying in a statement public trust and accountability must come first. So too is the DFL party, also writing Eichorn is an immediate danger to the public. However, Democratic Senate leader Erin Murphy stopped short of that, who's also resisted calling for the resignation of her own member, Senator Nicole Mitchell, who faces felony burglary charges and is expected to go on trial after this session. As for Eichorn, he's not facing formal charges yet for allegedly communicating with Bloomington police detectives, thinking they were a 16-year-old girl.
Expel. Now, this all comes after a federal criminal complaint details how investigators say 40-year-old GOP Senator Justin Eichorn, a husband and father of 4, tried to meet who he thought was a 17-year-old girl for sex. It says he responded to an ad posted by undercover law enforcement as Bloomington police carried out a sex trafficking sting earlier this month. According to that document, Eichorn texted, "Hey, I saw your post," later adding, "What's a guy got to do to get with the hottest girl online tonight?" That complaint says at one point Eichorn asked, "How old are you?" The officer responding, "Kind of nervous to say," later revealing, "I'm 17, sorry, don't want you to be mad." Eichorn later asking for a picture, and once he received that picture, responding, quote, "Got anything with a lot less clothes." Now that complaint also details how he asked about rates and sex acts. He was arrested this week in Bloomington on Monday trying to meet up with that girl. He's now facing a federal attempted coercion and enticement of a minor.
Just minutes before the Minnesota Senate was set to expel him, now former Republican Senator Justin Eichorn sent a resignation letter via email to Governor Walz. It was read aloud by the Senate clerk just after the floor session began.
Governor Walz, I am resigning my seat in the Minnesota Senate for District 6 effective immediately. I must focus on personal matters at this time. It has been an honor to serve in the Minnesota Senate. Sincerely, Justin Eichorn.
Justin Eichorn resigned from a jail cell where he's being held on federal charges of coercion and enticement of a minor. It is a sudden fall for a senator serving his 3rd term from the Grand Rapids area. To give you an idea of how quickly things moved, Eichorn's nameplate was still on his desk and the voting board minutes before the session started, but removed.
Federal Judge Shannon Elkins this afternoon. Eichorn's charged with attempted coercion and enticement of a minor. It was back on Monday when Bloomington police say Eichorn was arrested in an undercover prostitution sting. The federal prosecutor, Leanne Bell, in court called it, quote, very concerning offense. The judge asked Eichorn if he understood the allegations against him. Eichorn nodded and said he did. So what's next for Eichorn? Well, the judge decided Eichorn will remain in federal custody until a bed opens in a halfway house. The former senator will also be required to wear a GPS monitor and have no unsupervised contact with minors.
Is a real deep, hard look at the problems that exist at the Republican leadership level that make people feel like this is okay.
And to be clear, no Republicans here in the state Senate said that Eichorn's behavior was okay. May Quaid points to President Trump nominating Matt Gaetz to be Attorney General, which failed ultimately, and Pete Hegseth as Defense Secretary as examples of Republicans being appointed after they have faced allegations. A Senate Republican caucus spokesperson said she would not dignify May Quaid's criticism with a response.
Every Sunday night during session, I say goodbye to my wife and kids.